today, we are going to shoe this horse. Before we shoe this horse, we are going to trim this animal's hoof. And the reason horses need to be trimmed is because their hooves continually grow. For example, when I get done, this hoof will be somewhat shorter, and the angle of the hoof, instead of being around a 45-degree angle, will rise to around a 50-degree angle. And in doing so, we'll take some of the stress off of the back tendons. The first process is to clean out the hoof of debris and dirt. And now we're going to start trimming the sole of the hoof. Now, as you can see, this hoof is asymmetrical. And what this animal does, he walks on the inside of his hoof. So what I'll be doing is I'll be trimming the hoof in the front, and I'll be taking more hoof off the outside, and I'll be leaving a little more hoof on the inside, and it will level him up. All right, now I'm going to start trimming the outer wall. The tool that I'm using is a nipper. Now on the inside, I will take less. See how it comes right up to nothing? And I'll just take a smidgen off of this heel. Now what we'll do is we'll check the angle of the hoof. This hoof gauge has the degrees and angles on the side. We'll put this on the outside of the hoof and this at the bottom. And yep, we're at a 52-degree angle. Now what we're going to do is we're going to dress the hoof off, the outside of the hoof, just to see if there's any cracks. Now the hoof is ready for the shoe. But first, before we nail it on, we have to shape the shoe to fit the horse's hoof. Okay, now the hoof has been all prepared for the shoe, and I'm going to take the shoe and we're going to see what we have to do. The hoof is still asymmetrical, actually. So if we put the shoe here, it fits pretty good here, but it doesn't fit so well here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to widen the shoe out here to bring it to the outside edge of the hoof, and I'll probably draw a toe clip on the shoe to help hold the shoe to the hoof better. Okay, so to the forge. Open the forge up, and we'll stick the shoe in, and we'll turn the forge on. There it is. So now we'll close the door, and we shall wait. Right now, the shoe should be about ready. And it is. So what we'll do, I'll just open the shoe up. And the reason for heating it is it's so much easier and so much more malleable to shape. Why I burned that on is I took the high spots off of the hoof so the shoe will sit level right against the hoof, and no debris will get in between the hoof and the shoe. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to draw a clip on this shoe. Now what that does, that'll go on the outside of the hoof, and it just helps hold the shoe onto the hoof. This is a wrist magnet, and it's easier to grab the nails that way when I go to nail the shoe on. Now, one has to be very careful when you drive a nail into a horse's hoof not to get it into the sensitive area. And that takes experience and knowing the structure of the hoof. Okay. And I usually drive 3 nails per side. And I leave 1 nail out in case the horse pulls a shoe. And if he damages any hoof, you always have a place to put a nail into the hoof. Now, I'm going to start clinching the nails by putting my pull-offs here underneath the nail. There, now the nail is seated. As you can see, we have the clip here. So now we're just going to put the clip right down against the hoof. And we're going to cut off the excess nails. And we're going to rasp underneath the nail to take any jagged hoof away. Now we take a clincher. This is an alligator tool, and we put it right against the nail and we pull it over and we bend the nail down against the hoof. And that shoe is seated. Now what we'll do, we'll finish everything off to make it smooth. Take off the excess hoof wall. We'll take this little bit of a flare out right here. And the job is done. One shod hoof.